In 12 matches last season when the Kangaroos were behind at half-time, they won only 2 of them. Lance Whitnell revving up the Carlton troops. We have a good one going here on Saturday Night Football. More from the Gold Coast right after this.
Yep, mate. Gotcha. Yep. Yep.
I have.
Yep, no worries. Yep.
No problems.
You're going to see me? I'll stand back here, mate.
Yeah, you're... Thanks.
Yeah.
First half here at Gold Coast Stadium, and it is the Blues leading by 20 points. Don't adjust your television screens, there's nothing wrong with them. It's Leigh Colbert sitting with me up here in the box. Now, Colbert, you bolted from the boundary line to get up here. You're just getting your breath back. You're looking very comfortable up here too.
Yeah, it's a promotion, Jace. I'm taking it already. So I did run up, and I've got Lynchy out of the hot seat.
Does this mean Lynch will be doing the hard yards down on the boundary?
Oh, I should think so, yeah. Certainly in the second half anyway.
Well, the reason we've got you up here is to talk about a good mate of yours, Adam Simpson. Game number 250 for him. And he's not a guy that we tend to hear too much about or hear much from.
No, he's a very quiet sort of guy. Goes about his business in his own way, but terrific fella, and deserves everything he gets in footy, because he's been a sensational player for the Kangaroos for a long, long time.
Well, Colby had the chance to catch up with Adam Simpson during the week, talking about his 250th. Let's have a listen.
Well, Simo, 250 games. Who would have thought in your wildest dreams a skinny, freckle-headed redhead would get to 250 games?
Yeah, you got one thing wrong. I wasn't skinny. I was a little bit plump. So, look, it's something you don't plan for when you start playing footy. I think you just want to play one game. And then that took me 2 years to do. And then to be part of the teams in the 90s was, it was a privilege. And then to establish myself in the team from then on was a pretty strong goal of mine. And the game's really crept up, I suppose. I haven't been injured too much, and touch wood. And yeah, it's arrived.
Dean's been under a fair bit of pressure this year, but the last 4 games, 4 wins, sensational. What's a big difference and change you've noticed in him in 2007?
To Dean's credit, he's turned the whole club around and the way we play footy, and I think we've got a bit of that grunt work back in us now, and the work ethic that we had throughout the 90s and even in the early 2000s, I think we've got that back. So if we can use that as a base, it's a great starting point.
The game's changed quite a bit, especially the after matches. Tell us about how they used to be in the old days here at North.
Yeah, it was part of my upbringing at the footy club was you play Friday night, you normally win, and then you're out Friday night, you're out Saturday night, and you might slip somewhere Sunday arvo and just rock up at training Monday, and everyone would train, and you train really hard, and then you go out the next week and win again. So it was it's pretty cruisy for a few years. Yeah.
Good times.
Well, when I got drafted, it was just at the start of Dennis Pagan's era. For 7 years we had the prelims and the grand final, so it was a good 8 or 9 years of success.
Adam Simpson.
Now, Nikki, beautiful Nikki, your wife, childhood sweethearts. How did that all come about?
Yeah, I met Nikki in year 11, first day of school. Tried to sit next to her, and she told me the seat was taken. So I don't think there was a seat for me. I had to go out and get one from next door in the classroom. So yeah, I pretty much chased her down in year 11, and we've been together ever since. So we got married about 6 years ago, and we've got 3 beautiful kids.
If you weren't playing football, what would you be doing?
I've got no idea, mate. I don't know. I've been playing footy for that long. I would have done a trade, probably an electrician or,
Just like Arch, he was an electrician.
Yeah, Arch was an E-grade electrician, so I might have done that with him.
Simo, how do you want to leave the game of AFL football? What do you want to be remembered as?
On the spot, I'd say I just want to be known as one of those guys who was pretty consistent and reliable, and around the club, just honest, I suppose. And yeah, those 3 things, if I can have that in people's memories, I'll be pretty happy.
We can definitely tick all them off, mate.
Because this is what leadership's all about. Look, back you come, body on the line, wear one for the team. Take your hat off to Adam Simpson.
Simo, congratulations on 250. Great to be a teammate, but also a lifelong friend. All the best.
Thanks, Cobbs. Appreciate it, mate.
Yeah, wonderful effort by Adam Simpson, 250 games. Just a couple of good mates chatting there on the couch. It's been a great journey for him. It doesn't look like stopping anytime soon.
No, he hasn't. He's had great, his body's been sensational. He's played, I think, 250 of a possible 257, so he's had a great run with his body, and he could play for another couple of years for sure. How
was your form on the pool table and the table tennis table we saw in the background?
They never had a pool table when I was there, Jace, so they've gone up market down there at the Kangaroos.
Half-time here at Carrara, it's the Blues by 20 points. We'll have a look at some of the highlights from the first half, and also a Brendan Favola update on the other side of the break.
Here's Eddie Betts jumping onto the loose ball, tucked in on the boundary line. Pass to the advantage of Whitnell, who scoops it up against Leigh Brown. Gets around him from close range.
Brilliant.
Lance Whitnell has come up with the goods. What a great goal. Betts jumping onto the loose ball, tucked in on the boundary line. Pass to the advantage of Whitnell, who scoops it up against Leigh Brown. Gets around him from close range. Brilliant. Lance Whitnell has come up with the goods.
If you've just joined us, you've missed a very entertaining first half of football here at Gold Coast Stadium. It's Carlton by 20 points, 12-6-78 over the Kangaroos, 18-58. Fisher with 3 for the Blues, for Bowler 2. Multiple goal scorers for the Kangaroos. Corey Jones with 2, and also Lindsay Thomas with 2. Andrew Kratzo, the major possession getter on the ground, with 18. Looking at the match stats, Lynchy, doesn't tell a great tale. You'd think probably scores a little bit closer looking at those numbers.
Certainly should be. Carlton have been very effective when they moved into their forward 50. The centre breaks is probably the telling one. They've been very effective getting the ball out of the centre clearances and having nice clean entries into the forward 50.
Well, crucial to Carlton's chances of staying in front until the final siren will be Brendan Favola. We saw him go off in the second quarter after a pretty heavy knock. He got sandwiched between a couple of players. Hopefully just to court, Leigh Colbert, as we speak, is down in the Carlton rooms getting the very latest on Brendan Favola, and we'll keep our fingers crossed that he will be taking his place when the second half resumes shortly. One of the key players for the Kangaroos was Corey Jones. He had a sensational first half, Lynchy. He was everywhere, 3 or 4 opponents, kicked a couple of goals, had a dozen or so possessions, and he troubled them.
He was outstanding. His just ability to find space, whether it be leading hard at the ball, or we saw in that instance pushing back into space. He was a good foil for Edwards, who leads long and hard, doesn't get too many shots on goal, but Corey Jones just had the ball in his hand all that first half.
He certainly was everywhere. He was kicking goals, he was setting goals up, he was giving contests, he was beating 2 and 3 opponents. He did it all, Corey Jones, and probably could have had 3 or 4 goals with a little bit of luck, but boy, did he trouble the Carlton defence. He was absolutely fantastic, Corey Jones. It has been a terrific first half. We're hoping for more of the same in the second. We'll take a short break, then we will climb into the second half action here at Carrara.
Yes, Emma.
One, two, three. I'm talking on the talkback to Emma. Yeah. Saturday night football from the Gold Coast. Trust you are enjoying our coverage. At this venue 10 weeks ago, Carlton defeated the Kangaroos by 15 points to win a semi-final in the NAB Cup. But to give our Kangaroos fans some hope, let's not forget Carlton led Colin